Please. How much longer pent up here in the dark? With you. Theme sloth. Sloth is of all the passions the most powerful passion, and indeed no passion is more powerful than the passion of sloth. This is the mode in which the mind is most affected, and indeed... Please! The mode in which the mind is most affected, and indeed in no mode is the mind more affected than in this. By passion we are to understand a movement of the soul, pursuing or fleeing real or imagined pleasure or pain, real or imagined pleasure or pain. Of all these movements, and who can number them, of all these movements, and they are legion, sloth is the most urgent, and indeed by no movement is the soul more urged than by this, to and from. By no movement the soul more urged than by this, to and from.
That in and out is exactly the condition
Interesting.
that you boys find yourselves in. More so you. More so Vladimir. Because Vladimir keeps trying to make a narrative out of this. Whereas Gogo is content to just take off his fucking boots and just go to sleep.
Go in the ditch and get beaten every
whatever,
night.
Or whatever.
Because
until he gets engaged. You know?
Right.
Until he gets engaged, and then he's like, "Okay, well now I got you."
Yeah, let's insult each other.
Yeah, let's contradict each other. That's it. Let's make a little conversation.
Yeah.
Let's have a canter.
Let's make this work.
That was a good, nice little canter.
Let's make this work, shall we?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's make it work.
All right. So I've sung my doggy tune.
Okay. So here's my anxiety. I'm gonna put my anxiety right on the table. Because I've been here. I've been down this road. You don't get this fucking text in you, ASAP, you boys are in big ass trouble. This fucking play will kill you. It will, because it's this.
Yeah.
It's this. And at any moment, when that happens, oh my God. You're rushing around the stage, you're running out of the theater, you're running, someone give me the line, someone give me this, so forth and so on. This is what this play is, all the way through. So so the pattern of human relationships are come here, go away, come here, go away, come here, go away. When do you most want when do we most long for the intimacy? Here. When do we most long for the separation? Here. It's a paradox. It's a contradiction. Human beings are defined by the dance they do, and its opposite. Very, for the most part, there's never that third perspective that sees the two extremes and therefore can deal and hold or embrace the inner contradictions of this relationship. Yes. Oh, absolutely. So, again, how does any typical relationship from a psychological point of view begin?
The same second. Is that not enough for you? They give birth astride of a grave. The light gleams for an instant. Then it is night once more. On. Why did you never let me sleep? I felt lonely. I was dreaming. That passed the time. I dreamt. Don't tell me. You really think he was blind? Oh, blind? Who? Blind? He told us he was blind. Well, what of it?
One person in the relationship is containing the other. In other words, most of the problematics in human relationships, particularly in boy-girl relationships, is because the female is containing the male. Okay? And it gets to a point where she says, enough. I can't hold you. I can't hold you. I'm not your fucking mother. I'm not going to hold you. I can't do this anymore. Enough.
The existence of a personal God is afforded the public works of puncher and walking, with white beard, outside time, without extension, who from the heights of divine apathia, divine affection, loves us dearly, with some exceptions, for reasons unknown, but time will tell, and supplicate divine with those who, divine unknown, time will tell, plunged in permanency in fire, whose fire flames that continues. Then who can doubt it will fire the firmament, that is to say, blast hell to heaven. And suffer still the divine render with those who for reasons unknown, which though intermittent is better nothing but not so fast and considering fire, whose fire flame crowned by the will fire the firmament, that is to say, blast hell to heaven. Testuan canard is established beyond all doubt, all other doubt than that which clings to the labors of men. Left unfinished on Testuan canard is established as hereafter, but not so.
Questioning it. Maybe it would be better if we parted. So master, slave. Master, slave. Master doesn't have any consciousness of this because he doesn't have to, but slave does. Maybe we should part because maybe this isn't working. So you're the one who keeps bringing it up. There's a certain anxiety to it. You've just spent the night apart. So at the end of the play, we see them sort of, they never go, they do not move. But ostensibly, they go off in the night together to find shelter to come back the next day. But for whatever reason in this myth, they get separated.
Yeah.
And you're in the ditch, and they beat you. They beat you. For some reason, off goes Go-Go. And then comes back from wherever he's been, and they beat him, because that's the first thing I was going to talk about. They beat him. But your first thing is like, here's what you say from let's say, all right, I'm gonna fulfill this desire. I'm going to separate. I'm going to go away. So you've tried this experiment, and after this experiment, you come back and say, don't touch me, don't question me, don't speak to me. Stay with me.
Yeah.
It failed.
Yeah.
It failed. And now you're back in.
Yeah.
You're back in. So when two people have trouble, it's not until they get perspective, and then they can make that move again. I mean, this round is it's perfectly defines human relationships, no matter what they look like. Mom, dad, lover, friends, whatever. Boom, 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 boom. Because we're full of contradiction and desire and fantasy and needs and aspirations and hopes. And I got a line in one of my poems where he was free to dream of pretty maidens past and present, of pretty maidens yet to come.
Wait, what was that again?
This is a character in one of my poems. He says he's talking about where he was free to dream of pretty maidens past and present, and pretty maidens yet to come. So it's desire. Desire is always dreaming itself, and we go along for the ride thinking that it's us, that this is what we want. No, it's not what we want. It's what desire wants. It's not what I want. I want a relationship, so to speak. But desire wants to keep moving on. So Godot, ironically enough, may be the one who holds or embodies that drive of eros, of desire, to just keep moving down the road. But for whatever reason, can't get far.
Yeah.
Comes back.
In these latitudes, when the weather is fine, an hour ago, roughly, after having poured forth, even since, say 10 o'clock in the morning, tirelessly, torrents of red and white light, suddenly it begins to lose its effulgence, to grow pale, until finished it comes to rest. But behind this veil of gentleness and peace, night is charging and will burst upon us, pop, like that, and just when we least expect it. And that's the way it is on this bitch of an earth. So long as one knows, one can bide one's time. One knows what to expect. No more need to worry. Simply wait. We're used to it. How did you find me? Good, fair, middling, or positively bad? Oh, very good. Very, very, very good. And you, sir? Très bon. Très bon. Ah, bless you, gentlemen. I have such need of encouragement. I weakened a little toward the end. You notice? Maybe just a little teething. I thought it was intentional. Well, you see, my memory is defective. In the meantime, nothing happens. You find it tedious? Somewhat. And you, sir? I've been better entertained. Well, gentlemen, you have been civil to me. Oh, what an idea. No, not at all. You have been correct. So, I ask myself, is there anything I can do in my part to help these honest fellows who are having such a dull time? Not even 10 francs. We are not beggars. Is there anything I can do? That's what I ask myself, to cheer them up. I've given them bones. I've discussed things with them. I've explained the twilight, admittedly. But is it enough? That's what tortures me. Is it enough? Even 5. That's enough. I wouldn't accept any less. Oh. Is it enough? No doubt. For I am a liberal. Just by nature. This evening. So much the worse for me. For I shall suffer. There's no doubt about that. Well, what would you prefer? Would you like to have him dance or sing or recite or think? Who? Oh, you know how to think, you do? He thinks? Certainly. Oh, wow. He used to think quite prettily. I could listen to him for hours. But now, so much the worse for me. So, would you like to think something? I'd rather him dance. It'd be more fun. Not necessarily. It'd be more fun, wouldn't it be? Well, like to hear him think. Well, how about he dance first and think after, if that's not too much to ask of him? Would that be possible? By all means. Nothing simpler. It's the natural order.
Tied. Oh, right. Tied. Yes, you are tied. Right? Because we come into life on our hands and knees. We are tied and dependent on the other. We're always already dependent upon others, and we are tied to them. There's no such thing as not codependent. Boots are a central metaphor that go through all of Beckett's work.
Oh, those are awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And this is very early in Van Gogh's career, because he wanted to be like a holy man and all that kind of shit, and it wasn't working out because he was just a crazy boy. So it's one of his first paintings, these boots. But this is something that inspired Beckett. So we have this iteration of your laces, the bullwhip, the notion of being tied, the belt. So you've got all throughout here. You have this thing that's going on with that little bit with the laces, and the idea that the anxiety of being tied to him,
Right.
to Godot, you don't the anxiety of being tied. So again, the notion of laces is. So in other words, when you're thinking about what might be behind that, when he shows you the laces, it's the horror, what those things mean to you, what they represent to you. It's huge. It's a whole world of being tied to the other. Okay, in your horror at the prospect of being tied to the other. The other side of that is his pathology, or his phobia looks like he doesn't want the dream. The world of sleep, and dream, and so forth. What we were talking about, he never sits down, he never sleeps. Even though he tells us he sleeps, I didn't get up once in the night. Right, we're gonna believe that. He's been up all night. He's a tweaker, is what he is. Maybe not that bad. But he's got this whole thing with the dream world that he has this phobia around, as though perhaps the dream world would see him.
Lucky.
To sing?
Yes. Or to think, or to recite.
But he is dumb.
Dumb.
Dumb, he can't even grow.
That with Estrogon, my friend, at this place until the fall of night, we waited for Godot to come. The Potso passed his carrier, and he spoke to us. Probably. But in all that, what truth will there be?
Put down his bags.
Oh, rubbish! Are you sure?
Damn it, haven't you already told us?
I've already told you.
He's already told us?
Well, he's put them down, hasn't he?
Oh, yes, so he has. But what of it?
Well, since he has already put them down, it would be impossible that we should ask him why he has not done so.
I'll strongly reason.
Why has he put them down?
Answer us that.
In order to dance.
True. True. Nothing happens. Nobody comes. Nobody goes. It's awful. It hurts. Hurts. He wants to know if it hurts.
No one suffers but you. I don't count. I'd like to hear what you'd say if you had what I have.
It hurts.
Hurts. He wants to know if it hurts.
Oh, you could button it all the same.
Oh, true. Never neglect the little things of life.
Oh, what do you expect? You always wait until the last moment.
The last moment.
Hope deferred maketh good.
Something sick. Who said that?
Why don't don't you help me?
Sometimes I feel it coming all the same, and then I go all...
That's where we'll go for our honeymoon. We'll swim and we'll be happy.
Huh. You should have been a poet.
I was. Isn't that obvious? Only we can't.
Likely. It's set. Didn't you see them?
I saw them, but I don't know them.
Oh, yes, you do know them. Oh, no, I don't know them. We know them, I tell you. You forget everything.
Weighing the pros and cons. He doesn't do that. An animal doesn't weigh the pros and cons.
Exactly.
He just reacts.
That's why the animal is there, because the animal doesn't think about his being.
Right.
He is just being.
Right.
And so he will make that choice instantaneously.
Right.
Fight or flight.
Right.
Done. No stopping, no thinking, no, well, he's crying for help. What? None of that.
Yeah. I think it's like the tiger bounds to the help of his congeners without the least reflection.
Exactly.
None.
None.
Or else he slinks off into the depths of the thicket.
Exactly. No reflection. He's not
Nothing.
tortured by
Black and
thought or thinking.
Yeah.
He's not tortured by
Yeah.
thought or thinking. His being, he sings with his being. Boom. Right? So it's and then all the dogs. So in other words, this is a way of for Dee Dee to deal with his anxiety of being separated from Godot. Yeah. And song conveys exactly that.
Yeah, and then all the dogs came running and dug the dog a tomb, and wrote upon the tombstone for the eyes of dogs to come. other poor bastards just like
Like yourself.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's simply deep.
Yeah. Exactly. Lovely. Yes.
You know?
It's simply deep.
Yeah.
Beautiful. I'm gonna write that down. Use that. It's simply deep.
It really is.
It really is. Don't touch me. Don't question me. Don't speak to me.
me.
Stay with me.
Stay with me.
Stay with me.